Hello, and good morning, everybody. I think it's Monday morning. Sun is shining in the garden route. This is winter. It's beautiful. It's cold inside, but it's beautiful in the sunshine. I have emerged from my spirit journey, my vision quest to a remote part of the coastal region, close to Plettenberg Bay, where we had our sweat lodge. So only about an hour. It wasn't the deepest sweat we could go through. It was just to just unravel and to open things up for the next stage. Sweat was quite powerful. We did some chanting and some prayers before packing our bags, driving a short distance to a friend of a friend's farm, and then walking about an hour down and along and towards the coast. We then dropped our bags at a central fireplace where my two friends Das and Chunky were going to remain for the duration of the vision quest, with a central fire and to hold space if any emergency or any need arose. We then were instructed to walk along the coast and find a secluded little spot, something that resonated with us, and I found a beautiful little green patch of grass in amongst rocks, in amongst a bit of vegetation that had clearly been used by hunter-gatherers in the past, by strandlopers, people walking along the coast. There was shells, and deep into the ground there were shells of a midden of sort of seafood that had been eaten and deposited there. So I collected some firewood, collected my bags, had some final instructions from Das with regards to the process forward, and intention for me was to delve back into relationships, past relationships, and just to dissect them and to delve deep and to try and get all the way back to the mother and to the womb. So set my fire up the first evening, found a hand tool, a little cutting tool, in amongst the firewood I was looking for. Evidence again of ancestors and of generations of times gone. Some individual that had used that hand tool for maybe scraping shells off the rocks, or for scraping the seafood out of the shell itself. But it was so comfortable. The spot was beautiful, looking over the ocean. I faced east. The ocean was to the south. I had a vision of the ocean. It went around the coastline, and the ocean and waves crashing down upon the rocks constantly for the entire duration. It was very, very powerful. The wind was beautiful. It spoke to us. It was new moon. It was a really, really nice time to be out and about in the darkness, and attempted to stay awake for the entire time, but it was very hard. There were naps, there were sleeps, there were slumbering moments, but nature and its wonders spoke to me, with the cormorant that swam in the waves and the crashing, tumultuous waves that anybody would really struggle to be in. And the cormorant just waited and then dived under the water, free, carefree, and anxiety-free. It just sort of went with the flow. A seagull stood on the rocks feeding off of seafood, and as a wave crashed, it just jumped gently off. It didn't react to the wave, just moved away. It didn't blame the wave for its disturbance. There were so many natural signs that spoke to me and gave me some really, really deep realizations, which I'm not going to share now, but really, really deep visions with regards to my future and with regards to my past, and the forgiveness required, the dissecting of the past relationships with regards to forgiveness of myself, and also acceptance of roles in those situations, acceptance of responsibility for actions taken or actions not taken. And it was really, really strong to be able to delve deep into that part of myself. And it was water and some tea. I was able to make some herbal teas, which kept me going, and it was much easier than I thought, the fasting. I had a couple moments of thinking of cheese and mayonnaise toast, which is a favorite snack. But other than that, the fasting was actually easy. I think I could have done it for a few more days. I definitely could have stayed off the food for a few more days. But coming out, there was no sunshine in my space, maybe about half an hour of sunshine on my fireplace. Other than that, the sun didn't hit my area. I was able to stand in it for that half an hour. And on the second day, there was no sun at all up until the midday time. So it was really interesting I was expecting to be hot. I was expecting to have to hide away from the sun, which didn't happen. But it was cold. I had plenty of warm stuff, which kept me comfortable. But the fire was my friend, and the sea was my constant companion, and the rhythm of the waves, and the birds, and the jackal buzzards, forest buzzards, seagulls, and the ravens, the crows, the Cape crows flying over, woke me on the last morning with messages and guidance. They are the connection to spirit, and there was one, and then a second joined. Flew on a path east and then flew back on a path over my head, which is definitely a big sign of togetherness and the desire for a partner along the journey. So definitely not a journey to be done on my own, although the work on myself is all for myself, but there's definitely space for someone to fill that role. And then leaving at midday, we waited for the sun to get as high as it could, but couldn't really tell because of the cloud. And as I got back towards the group, and as I saw them, I was on the rocks. As I saw them, the sun just emerged out of the clouds like it is now, and bathed me with its brilliance. And it was another natural sign that everything is in check, everything is in tune, and Grandfather Sun blessed me on the return to the circle, where we shared and delved deep and hugged and respected silence for quite a while still before we shared, and then departed. Then went through to a beautiful friend of mine, where I am now, Bianca, and broke my fast with a beautiful vegetarian meal, homemade hummus and tahini, just beautiful vegetables, and a beautiful way to emerge back into the world. The world is very noisy when you come out of silence, so it was a really nice landing, and has been. Woke up this morning to beautiful chai, tea, and some singing, and we did some Kundalini yoga just now, which is my first time, and I'm feeling quite sensitive and quite sore, and feel like I need a bit of rest. But this afternoon I'm heading off to look at a property, my first sort of embarkation on new land, a place called Pachamama. We have some shares available, so looking to maybe get into shareholder, but ideally my objective is to possibly buy some land where I can get a cottage. So that is sort of the journey of spirit, the journey of self, and that's where I find myself at the moment. So sorry for this much longer message. There's so much more that could be discussed today, but we'll leave it for another time. And yeah, I'll check in again after touching base on some land and some property, and moving into the winter solstice festival, which starts on Wednesday, Thursday. So a busy week ahead, but a week of community, a week of connection, a week of tribe, and a week of love. And yeah, very excited for that. So have a blessed week until then. Thank you for the support and all the love and the words. I really do appreciate it, and we look forward to connecting with you all soon. Have an absolutely fantastic day. Goodbye.